Okay, Heatsink here with the BAC2000 heatsink project here. So that's what we got. We're working with right now. All right. So I just welded or brazed the 4 tabs on there. It actually looks really good from this side. You can see I kind of messed up the heatsink here a little bit. I kind of melted it a little bit. Yeah. No bueno. I knew when I saw that happening, I was like, oh, it must be hot enough to think now. Like, this is the fin start heat. So the problem is, like, this part doesn't get as hot as this part. This part will get hotter faster because it's thinner. So I don't know if there's a way I can repair that. I probably could repair it. That's what I'm thinking. I could probably just add some material to it. But it's fine. That's okay. It doesn't bother me that much. We're going to wind up probably cutting some of this so the fender can clear it. But other than that, you know. So the last thing that we did was I put some JB Weld to fill in the gaps here. Okay, and then I'm going to try to flatten this stuff. So I don't think it's flat right now. It looks pretty close. What do you think? It looks pretty flat. Yeah, I did a pretty good job. So what I was worried about, if you remember in the last video clip, is if I tried to heat this up and then do the Aluma weld rod on it, braze it, I was afraid this is going to start drooping, like, because that's what happened. That's what happened when I heat up the metal. I shifted this and I didn't have anything to support it, and I heated up the metal, and then I saw this starting to droop and stuff. I was like, oh no, you have to have both of them on the surface to support it, so it doesn't do that. That doesn't happen. So yeah, if you're gonna do something like this, I would suggest having like you can't do it on the concrete because the concrete will like explode, man. You got to do it on like a steel table, something that can retain more heat. You know, unfortunately, this is a wooden table. I actually, you know, interesting thing about a story about this table here, my workbench here, is I pulled this out of my basement and it didn't have a deck. It didn't have a top on it. You know, it was just open. You know, and then so I got this piece of wood. I cut it and I bolted it to the table, and I used this table to work on a Prius battery because I was like, I knew, like, man, we can't work on a metal table because it's, you know, it's conductive and stuff. So I made sure it's a wooden one. So. But unfortunately, it's not going to work so well with this stuff. So you can see these are some of my past adventures in Aluma welding. It is really hard to work with, man. I'm telling you. They make it look really easy on those, you know, Facebook videos and stuff and the internet, but it's, you know, it's tough. Yeah, I guess it depends on what you're working on. You could totally burn whatever you're working with if you're not careful. Kind of like how I burned the heatsink. So okay, yeah. So I'm gonna go. What we're gonna do is resurface this. Also, let's make sure it's flat. It looks like it's flat. I'm hoping I didn't warp it when I did the thing on it. Okay, I got this here precision straight edge ruler, and we'll just gonna. Aha! It's not totally flat. I can see. A good thing to do would be to put a light on the other side. Okay, so that's what it looks like with a little bit of grinding going on there. So I definitely grinded that one pretty flat. There was a little piece of Aluma weld sticking out here, so I grinded that off. So I just grinded the big stuff off. One way we can make sure it's flat is we can do the same test with going this direction. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, it looks like it looks like where I put the JB weld, it's like it's raised a little bit. Other than that, it looks pretty good. No, that okay. This one looks like it's way too tall. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have to grind this one down. Yeah, this one. There's just too much. There's too much JB weld on this, so I'm gonna grind that JB. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the resurfacing disc, and we'll start using the resurfacing disc. All right. I'm pretty sure it'll go through that JB weld real fast. So we're gonna hit the tabs up with this resurfacing disc. Hopefully it'll flatten it out a little bit more and make it smoother. Okay, so this is after the first round of resurfacing. So I kind of cleaned up this surface right here. It does kind of scratch it up, sorta, but that's okay. It's probably better if it was a little bit rough. So when we put the stuff on there, it goes in the pores and stuff. So it looks like the top tabs are good. I don't really see a whole lot of light in between, so that means it means that actually the tabs are like it's not passing the plate. However, this one is, so you can see there's light in the middle. So I need to go grind this one more. So I think it's this one. This one is crooked. This one is like kind of bent like this way a little bit. So kind of that's like the worst one, I think. So I'm gonna go get the Dremel and grind that one flatter. If it's better to have it more, it's better to have the pad more this way than passing the plate. That way there won't be, we can't have any gap between the two heat sinks. Okay, so I made sure and grinded these pads down as much as I could, and it looks like they're not the ones that are causing it to bow. Okay, so you can see there, you can see the light through there. No boy, no, it's bowing in the center, and it's not because of the pads. Because if you look at the pads, see there's a space between the pads and or over there. So I made sure that that's not the problem. It's the heatsink itself that's not flat. Okay, like the whole heatsink is like warped. It's not warped, but it's bowing in the center. That's kind of weird because it's not over here. It's totally flat here. So I think, no, not really. Well, you can see here, you can see there, that's the edges are totally bent. But other than that, it's an excellent shape. So this top part is actually better than the middle part. So I think when we heated it up, we actually wound up straightening it. It straightened itself out. So I think this heatsink is actually bent. It's like kind of bowing in the center. That's okay. That's what we got thermal compound for. Okay, so now that we know it's totally flat, I think we'll be fine. So I don't really want to do any more than that. I feel like I wore off all the JB weld. Most of the JB weld that I put on is gone. Yeah. It's okay. There's some in there still. But the resurfacing disc took a bunch out. It's not supposed to, but it's really soft compared to the other material. So yeah, it's a bummer that this warped right here. Those corners are warped on this. But here it's really flat. That's warped on the side here, and then I found out it's bowing in the center. So, and then there's a dent right here. That can't be good. And there was like a scratch, a big scratch down the center somewhere. I think I was able to get it out with the resurfacing disc. So, all right. So yeah, that's it. It's pretty much. I don't really want to do any more. What I may do is put some JB more JB weld on it. I'm not sure. It's pretty much just filled in the gap, like I said. But see right here, I see some gaps. So I might go add some more JB weld, and then I'll resurface it one more time. But not too much. Or I can just leave it like that. This one I feel like I need to put some JB weld on. It definitely looks like it's missing a whole bunch. The other ones look okay. I think it's fine. I think maybe this one a little bit. Yeah, I'll add some to here and here again. because I feel like I grinded it all off. But I know these pads are on here. They're not. It's not in front of the heatsink surface, so it's actually behind it. It's like it's pointing towards the fins. So this will not interfere with you know, how flat it is. So if we found that out, that's good. And then we resurfaced this whole area right here. So we can probably do it one more time. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do it one more time. I'm gonna add some JB weld back into here because it looks like I didn't put enough, or the resurfacing disc took it off here and here, and then I'll go ahead and resurface it one more time, and I think we should be good to go. Okay, and then we'll start drilling. That's the next part. Next part is start drilling, and then we'll drill the holes in this, and then drill the holes on the controller, and then that should be pretty much it. And then what's got to happen is we got to chop this. It's too long. Actually, yeah, let's go take a look at it real quick. Okay, let's see how this thing fits here. All right, so there's the BAC2000. So this is going to go on like so, and the tab should be in the center of where the black marks are. If you see the mark that we made there. And the heatsink should pretty much generally be in the center. Okay, so it's gonna mount something like that. I kind of want to get it a little bit higher, so it's just touching the black part of the controller. Okay, it's covering the blue part there on top. Okay, and then so as you can see, it's too long right now. We're probably gonna have to cut. I know, that's a cooling scoop for the motor too, so we can't really block that. We'll have to cut like an inch or inch and a half or like 2 inches off, okay? And then yeah, we got to drill the holes into there. So as you can see, the mounting tabs are too long. They're way too long. That's how much they stick out past the wings on this. So we're gonna be drilling a hole through this part here. That part that's sticking out on the controller heatsink. Okay? Yeah. The screws are going to go in there, so. Okay. So that's what's going to happen. And then we're actually going to add another heatsink to this too. Oh, also another thing we have to do is we need to grind the controller a little bit. It doesn't sit totally flat. This is actually sticking out a lot. So we're going to have to go get the grinder out and grind at least the black part here. Grind it so it's flat. That, or I can try to loosen it and shift it back a little bit. I think it's okay to just grind it. It's no big deal. Yeah, so we're going to grind this black part down a little bit. Maybe like a millimeter, so it doesn't interfere with this because it's actually sticking out. We got to grind it to the same level that the blue part on the controller is. So we might wind up grinding up the controller too. So yeah, so actually that's probably what I'll go do right now. All right, so that's what it looks like for now. Sorry, it's a little dark, but yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and grind this black part here for the mount. This doesn't really do anything also, by the way, except like, yeah, it is hooked up to my little mount thing here. So, all right, so I'm gonna go get the Dremel and then we'll just go grind that down a bit. All right, here's we go. Okay, here's me here. I've grinded the little lip here flat. So what I did is I took one of these the cartridge roll here. I used a more coarse one, and I took a whole bunch off just to make sure it doesn't protrude from the heatsink. So the top one does protrude, but that's not a big deal. We're not gonna have a heatsink over that. So as you can see there, you can barely see any light through that. That's good. Okay, so yeah, so yeah, before this part was sticking up, and then you can see like light coming out of here. So yeah, that's good. That's good and flat now. Okay, and then I took a finer cartridge roll. And then and then I smoothened it out. Now it's nice and smooth. Looks nice. So, but it's kind of a shame I had to grind into the part of the BAC controller now. Now the BAC controller is not like new looking anymore. I mean, yeah, it's pretty old and dirty, but yeah. So, all right. So that means, you know, when we put the heatsink on here, it'll be flat on here. Okay. It won't be propped up on this guy here. Okay. At least I don't think it will. So, all right. So I think that's it for tonight. I'll have to pick this up another day. Also, I've got to go get some thermal compound. So the next thing to do is to drill the holes where these are. Okay. Cool. I don't even know how we're gonna drill it. There's not enough room to get a drill in here. That's the problem. What I might have to do is I have to take the controller off, and then drill it first. Yeah, that's probably the best idea. I don't want to really take it off because I have all the motor leads bolted on. But yeah, we'll see. Alright, so yeah, that's it for tonight. I'm gonna go add some JB Weld to those tabs, but I'm not gonna get that on video. So we're getting close. And then one of the last things we gotta do is we gotta add that second heatsink on there. So I got all these heat sinks just lying around. I want to use them. So we're gonna put one of these guys there. Okay, it's got a bunch of weird holes in it already, but this one just take 4 screws also, so I have to get some screws for this also. So this should be cool. And then we might be able to add some more heat sinks in the center. I'm not really sure what this is for, but yeah. So we'll just put one of these guys, and then maybe we'll go add something to the center if I could find a heat sink that fits in here. But I don't have one at hand, so. So yeah, just get like a CPU cooler, stick it in there. Alright, so yeah, it's coming along nicely. Slowly but surely. So we'll get this BAC controller cooled down so it'll have more consistent performance. Okay? Alright, here's we go.